bit. Hansi Flick uh, has no space to financially register with Barcelona after announcing Hansi Flick, the former German national, former Bayern Munich manager for Barca. The problems continue. Where they're really hoping what's his face left, I guess. Lewandowski. What do you think of this? Is there anything to this?
I think it's just comical, really, isn't it? You know, you can't even hire your own manager. That's like, what? I've never heard of that before. That's just insane to me.
Do you think,
like,
this is one of the most financially powerful teams in Europe for as long as I can remember, certainly when I first moved to Europe. Are we experiencing like a type of thing right here that they still have sort of a General Motors mindset and they're only Kia? I mean, or like, maybe it's a bad analogy to make to a non-American, but I mean, is this an internet ISP thinking they're Google? I mean, like just some mom and pop internet ISP, which they probably don't exist anymore, so that's a bad analogy as well. I would say like the culture, the mind shift is the mind shift. There's my German spitting out, man chef. The culture or the mindset of the old Barca just kind of keep creeping through.
I don't know. I think it's just like the issues still carrying on from that sort of era, right? I just think, I don't know, Barcelona's too big of a brand to die, I think. I think there is ways they can get out of this. I think because they're
legally,
I'm not sure. No, but, I'm sure there's like a way to get investment or something into the club. I think they're like a publicly owned club, so I don't know if maybe like one of the ways is like they have to take the sell the club to some big Saudi owner or some shit. I don't know.
Yeah, but
it is really scary times for Barcelona. Really, like we don't know when this is going to end. Right, because I think they're at a point where it's not necessarily they don't have the money anymore. I think it's just the financial restrictions on the club because of all the overspending and stuff is sort of like snowballing, where it's not even a case that they can't necessarily afford to do the things they need to. It's they just can't physically do it because of the rules or whatever.
It's just really comical. A lot of Barca news. Barcelona forward Raphinha is subject of a €100 million move to Saudi Arabia. I suppose that would help. What do you think about this one?
He's a bit young to be going Saudi Arabia. I think he's only like 26. But yeah. I mean, Barcelona need the money. Who's going to pay it? Saudi Arabia.
Send him.
But there's talk of them looking at another winger. I forget who, but there's like talks that they're looking for another winger, and one of the reasons why they want to sell Raphinha is to fund signing that guy, and it probably will be now to try and hire Hansi Flick at the money, and so they're actually allowed to, sign on Flick.
How much do you think Flick? How much do you think Flick is making a year? What's is he really worth that much? I guess he's top flight.
I'd imagine. I can't imagine he's like earning. He maybe his contract is going to be like top 10 in the world, but I doubt he's like the highest earning coach at all. Like I'd expect maybe they gave him like the 6th or 7th most for a coach, which I mean, understandable at that level, right?
I really don't like seeing this happen in Barcelona. Barcelona's like I've always been sort of sympathetic to the. What do they call them over there? I talked to them when I was in Spain too.
Catalonians.
No, not the part. They have the name for the Catalonians. I've always been kind of sympathetic to their cause, and they're just the cooler. I don't know. I mean, I grew up rooting for the Yankees, but I don't know. I kind of like. I guess in this case, rooting for the smaller club. Well, Barcelona's not really a smaller club, but I don't know. There's just something cool about those colors and what have you. I thought when I was a kid. You remember when they had the UNICEF. Sponsorship, so to speak. It was not really sponsorship, and I remember them started like that was their answer to other clubs that were doing it. It was like, we're going to do a charity instead because we're above that. They were one of the last clubs to actually put anything on their a sponsorship on their shirt. And I remember thinking, is that going to bite them in the ass? That was in 2005 when I learned that. It's like, is that kind of a good attitude to have, considering that? Let's be honest, football's kind of pay to win. It's a pay to win game.
It certainly is pay to win, especially in this day and age.
I mean, it's not 100% guaranteed.
He's like their most iconic, like sponsor. Like you ask people, oh yeah, Barcelona sponsors, UNICEF is going to be straight away. Like, he sort of became part of their identity for a while. But
until Spotify and they lost money.
That money. Yeah, like
the greatest player in the world. They're the greatest player in the world. The greatest player in history. I think they
couldn't re-sign him.
They still blew it. So, and I say this is not a Barcelona hater. I'm pulling for Dortmund this weekend. I'm not a Real Madrid guy by any stretch, but it is kind of comical, and it gets more comical. Gerard Pique is being investigated for corruption at the Spanish FA during Luis Rubel's presidency. That's the guy that kind of sunk the team, right? If I'm not mistaken, Luis Rubels. Is that the guy? Let's see my guy. I know what he looks like because I watched a video on him. He's got a funny mustache.
I'm not sure. That name rings a bell. But
No, it's not. Oh, that's the guy that got. I know who he is. That's the guy that got kicked off the span. That's the guy who kissed the chick last summer.
Oh yeah. So Luis Rubiales was Spanish FA. It was Bartomeu that was the Barcelona guy.
Bartomeu, yeah. Okay, so that wasn't him. No, he's the kisser. And that's too funny. The court looking into possible illegalities with criminal implications concerning commissions Pique's companies received moving the Spanish Super Cup to Saudi Arabia. Interessant. You don't know anything about this. You can't probably speak out on this. I just put it out there.
I mean, I don't know, but there'll be a really interesting thing to see because that's quite out there. Like a player earning money from moving a Super Cup to a different country. Like,
if I'm not mistaken,
directors or something, but not a player to be getting that.
Well, he wasn't a player, but Franz Beckenbauer was investigated by UEFA, by FIFA. He wouldn't give them nothing either. He wouldn't talk to them. They tried, even the German media tried. Yeah, he was a tax avoider. They looked into corruption, and I think the corruption was getting the cup to South Africa. Apparently, Franz Beckenbauer was involved in that somehow. But and just like in the first investigation doesn't mean you're something criminal. There could be something political going on here, and I don't know enough about it to say. And I think some of the stuff against Franz Beckenbauer may or may not have been political. It wouldn't surprise me. So I find that fascinating. Is it Gerard Pique? Didn't he Shakira's ex-boyfriend or something like that, or ex-husband?
Yeah, they were married for a while.
And he's a real entrepreneur, Gerard Pique. He's like the Kings League guy as well, right?
Yeah, Kings League. He owns FC Andorra.
Yeah.
And apparently a company that made a load of money from moving the Super Cup.
Uh-oh. Viel Glück, mein Freund.